This is a very relative question, but it would be very great if you could share your insights on this. What does progress in life and business mean to you? Because I've heard that it means different things to different people. But so what would you say that making progress in life and business means to you?
Okay, thank you. Let me start by saying, Jibola, it's nice to see you. I've not seen you in 25 years or thereabout, so it's really good to see you. And thank you very much to your beautiful wife for looking after you. Gbenga, I've not seen you in 25 years too, so I'm just very happy to be here tonight. Now, progress. Right. Jibola is a classic example of what progress is. He told us about his experience growing up in Ibadan. By the way, I grew up in the same city. Wow. But we had slightly different experiences. Nevertheless, everybody defines progress based on their yardstick. But what I would like this audience to understand is, don't you ever try to measure your life's progress by other people's success. Your success should be driven by your own aspirations for yourself. So I can remember personally when we were much younger, you used to tell us to set goals. I don't know if people still do it, but I used to set I used to set 200-year goals. Right. What would my grandchildren be thinking about the world? And I still have some of those things. 100-year goals, 50-year goals. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to be here in 100 years, but I know that, God willing, I should be here in another 50 years. So I want to know where I'm going to be. So again, I'm going to tie that back into who you are. We've talked about self-confidence, but I think vision is critical. You set your goals. So when I was thinking about this event, I said, what's the most important thing I can contribute? And it's about being global in the visions you set. So myself and Jibola were living in Ibadan. I literally changed my name from what I was christened to a name that I felt people could call me. And I was living in Ibadan. Now, why am I saying this? Because if you wish upon a star and you are willing to work as hard as possible to make it happen, your dreams will come true. Right. And people will say, oh, all dreams are valid, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, your dreams are valid as long as you're willing to work really hard at it. And I'm going to conclude by saying, if you are going to make significant progress that is going to be global, be ready to be a madman or a madwoman. People don't have to agree with the vision of the world you see. Right. But as long as you're willing to bring the vision of the world you see to our world, I can tell you we will all pay for it to use your experience. Apple is an example. Cadillac is an example. Rolls-Royce is an example. Just think about anything of value that you are using today. Somebody brought it into existence because of their vision. So think global, work hard at it, and I believe that all dreams are valid. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sal. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now, Mr. Bankole has shed so much light on that, but Mr. Gbenga Adenuga, I'd also like to hear from you. What would you say progress in life and in business means to you?
Thank you very much. Thanks, Jibola. All right. So there's so much to talk about. Let me just say a few things. Progress, English. Progress is moving forward progressively, positively, upward, and yeah. Life is life. Business is business. Right. So we don't have to define those. How do we make progress? I have a few things I would like to talk about. First, we have to be very focused. And I would like to explain this to you by, I'm sure you've seen horse races, and when you check horses, there's something on the side of their eyes. It's called the blinders. If you don't have those blinders, when the horses see other horses, they probably want to move away from the track. They'll be disturbed. So for you to be focused, you have to have blinders. Now, I'm a very crazy guy, and I'm extremely focused. Right. Like, I am focused. I really don't know I don't know what is happening. I do music, but I don't know what song is trending. And it's so funny, but I'm just focused. So I have my blinders on, and I keep moving on. I would also like to talk about resources. That's very key. Someone says to me, Gbenga, how have you been able to do all the things that you do? And I thought about it. I think the only reason why I'm able to do them is because I have resources. And I have resources. I don't spend my money anyhow. And my friends know. Every money I get must make money back.
Right.
I don't know how to waste money. Right? And let me tell you what happens when you when you build resources, you now have a voice. So people would call you for meetings because you have resources. In my industry, I'll share with you real life experience. 3 years ago, I was invited to come and handle a big project with with a big church. Massive project. And I wept during the implementation because I didn't have enough equipment. And I vowed, it's not going to happen next year. I'm telling you what, before the end of this year, I'll probably be the biggest in that industry in the country. Because I vowed. And because I'm putting my resources in it, because I want to be a decision maker. Right? And that's how to make progress. And let me tell you something. And a few weeks ago, someone gave me a call. And we're doing the same project in the same industry for $13 million in this Lagos. So focus is crazy. And a lot of times, we do not get it. Focus is not just momentary, that I'm going to do this for now. It is really, really mad. And then the way you make your decisions, like you said, you have to be mad. Right. You know, I pride in being really crazy. I remember when my father said to me, when I left school, Yoruba, Eje Kashibo Shemanshi, Kobali Ribo Shemanri, the style there when I in Ife that you finish school and go and do your masters in the United States. And so I said, Daddy, no masters. I said, I'm not going to do it like they're doing it because I don't want the kind of results they have. So and I said that to him, and he said it was going to disown me. And I said I was fine. But a few months later, his friend wanted me to come and sing at a gig. And I told his friend I was going to charge him 300K. That was my father's salary then, and it was for one gig. Because I don't want the results that everybody has. I want something different. So my point is this to all of us. You will get a different result if you think differently.
Right.
And you do not need anybody's approval. And I'm also ready to make a mistake and fail. I'm not ashamed of failure. Like, talk about me for 5 minutes. You will meet me in the future again.
Right.
Because I'm always reinventing myself. I mean, I have a business that I sold. Everybody said, why do you sell your business? Because that business is a distraction. Do you understand? And Jibola, you said something else, and I want to say this also to all of us that are into business. It is not every time you make a profit. I say this every time. I gamble with my profits. Like, I gamble with it. My very big event, final story, my very big event was to plan an event like 10 years ago. If I tell you what it cost to, I was paid, just for you to understand, I was paid 35 million naira 10 years ago to plan an event.
No.
After the event, guess what my profit was? 600,000 naira. Right? And when I was paying all my workers, that was all that was left in my account, 600K. I paid everybody. I flew. So this GoPros, this kind of thing, I was the first person that brought it in this country. I flew it in from Germany because I wanted to come fast. I took it through England because coming from Germany wastes my time. I took it to England. I flew it to the country. I went to China to design things for that event, and all the money was gone. When we were moving out, it was a federal government event. When we were moving out of the villa, they called me back. And they said, Gbenga, can you do the next event and the next event? Just repeat the same thing, and I'll pay you 6 million naira. That was my profit. Amazing. And throughout Jonathan's 6 years, I was doing 99% of his events.
Amazing.
My point is this. Gamble with your profit. Every opportunity is not an end. It's another opportunity. No matter how big my business is, it is still an opportunity. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Mr. Damilare, now this question is very, very vital. Do you think mindset has anything to do with progress in life and in business?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Absolutely. And I think that's the short answer. We're a product of what we feed, ourselves and our belief system, right? Mindset is everything. And oftentimes when I talk to people, right, I find myself encouraging, people to filter, basically what they what they put in their mind. The mind is so powerful that the day you start to believe that you will do the impossible, you would actually manifest, right? And as small as we think the mind is the most powerful thing and is what makes things happen for us. So I don't believe that there's any way, shape, or form that anybody will achieve any form of progress without having conceived, right, and achieved such results, right, in the mind before it then manifests, physically. Personally, I'll share a very simple example. Whilst working in a bank, I'd realized how, a lot of people were rejected or denied access to credit, right? And it was a painful, experience for me. And I thought about it. Really, what does it take? Really, and then if you're in banking, you understand that they'll tell you there's 5 C's of credit, character, capacity, and the works. And then oftentimes it will come down to everybody analyzing risk, doing all sort of things, but then nobody could quantify character, right? And I said to myself, one day I will engineer for character, right? I want people to be able to determine who is creditworthy and who is not through character. So it started with an idea in my mind. I didn't know how to achieve it, but it was just a big idea, a big picture I had. And I would talk to people, basically that I have this crazy idea, I want to do this, and then everybody would tell me it's not possible. So again, my belief system is the more people tell me something is not possible, the more I'm interested and excited about, doing it, right? I don't want to prove anybody wrong, right? I just want to achieve what I want to achieve, right? So when you tell me something is not possible, and we need to be mindful, right, that, the greatest enemy, basically to achieving our dreams and progress in life, in my opinion, are the naysayers. Unfortunately, they're everywhere, right? So if your mind is not strong enough, right? If your belief system is not strong enough, you will conceive. And then at the end of the day, you'll prove them right. That it's not possible. So I said to myself, the more people told me it wasn't possible, this is crazy, character, and blah, blah, blah. I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to do the work. It took me 5 years, but today we have it, right? And it's the first character, based lending technology that we have, if I would say so myself, at the very least in Africa, basically today.
Amazing.
I'm yet to find the solution anywhere in the world. And that goes to show the power.
Oh, it's okay to clap.
And that goes to show the power of the mind, right? And now, basically it's something new we've launched. Basically we have our AI system, making decisions, accessing or assessing people's risk profile through character, right? And I'm excited about it. So that just to let you know that it started by looking at character. Everybody, you can determine capacity, you can determine collateral, you can determine everything, but you can't necessarily, you couldn't before now, put a measure to character, and we've done it.
Awesome.
And that's the power of the mind.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It just goes to say that crazy people get crazy results. Only crazy people get crazy results. So, Mr. Ajibola Bamidele, thank you very much again for being a part of this. Now, this is important. What 3 habits, because now we're talking about making life in progress. We've emphasized on how important the mindset is towards that. So what 3 habits would you recommend to ensure that we make progress in life and in business? Okay.
Okay. I don't know why you didn't ask me mindset. I've been programming myself already. I've been spotting the quotes everywhere, what I'm going to be talking about. But before I answer that question,
yes,
I believe your mindset affects your behavioral set and also affects your life set. So we've been programmed from childhood to be poor. And you need to declutter that program if you're not careful.
Right.
From our parents, don't dream big, don't do this, you cannot do it here. My mother will say, "Owó jọ nǹkan." Now, you don't know what the future will be. So we know, so we feel our successes today cannot be sustained. So we're programmed as though that just quickly do something so that in case life knocks you down finally, you have something to fall back. So you've programmed your life to fail in the future. So there's so many things we're doing that we must declutter deliberately. And these people that did it to us were our loved ones. As simple as sit there, don't move around when you go for parties. Now you are living in a world that you must network, but you've been boxed that good children don't move around. So when you go into parties, you sit and you move around, you are caned for trying to build your social skills. Now you are now an addicted, introverted person. So now your world reward networking. We have to collaborate, but you can't collaborate. You've been a good child. So they've taken you out, you've been programmed to lose all your social skills. And that's why averagely you see people say, I don't like sales, I don't like going out, I just like staying in front of people. So you've been programmed. So you need to first work on that, decluttering those things, because it's controlling you.
Right.
And if you're not careful, you're going to pass it to your kids. As much as feeling if you've built house is a success, it's wrong programming. Because some people deny their family, put 50 million or 100 million or 150 million in a particular house they don't need now, and deprive their children in their formative age of things they should experience, telling them that I'm building it for you. And those kids will never live in that house again. If they are, how can you build house in Mowe and you are saying that if your children are really successful, they'll come and live there? They will not live there. They will go to Banana Island. Nobody wants to go and live in Mowe. So we'll be programmed. There's a place I don't like building. I don't want to buy. I don't want to live there in my life because I your boy. You see the place there. They said joy have disappeared. That's the name of Ayotibo. How can you now say that you are? So I'm just making you see that. Understand it. I didn't do naming for my kids. I didn't kill goats because there's no need. Why do I give birth and say I must do naming? I said no. So there's some things I've done that defile all, and I'm not ready to please you. So it doesn't make sense to me. So those things, you need to start decluttering it because you are set and you won't know you are being programmed.
Right.
That's what I want to say to that. But when it comes to habit, there's so many habits. Please, love routine. Routine brings mastery. Because sometimes I don't like routine job. I don't like doing job. How will you become competent? You cannot be a good footballer if you don't master the skills. So you need to love routine. That thing that you said you don't like. God. And I love what Dr. Pastoni said. He said, follow the money. And I don't want to be passionately poor. I want to build skills in areas that be rewarded. Not build skills and just grow amiss. So the only way habits I look for is to live and to look at my industry. Where are they? What are people paying? What exactly is attracting money? Either I have skill in it or not. That's not the issue. The issue is let me identify where the money is and start running my life to build the skill around it.
Yeah.
And that's an habit. And some say, well, what's the future? And that's the last thing I want to say. What will you be in the future? I say, who knows what the future is really? We just can gamble. Because nobody knew what will happen in COVID. Yeah. Nobody will know whether some mad technology will come out again. Nobody knows. But all I know is program yourself to be very flexible and adaptive. Such that whatever the future throws at you, you become it.
Amazing.
And that's basically what I want to drop.
Amazing. Thank you very, 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 very much, sir. Thank you. Just one more question, Mr. Ajibola. Now, does age have anything to do with progress in life? Because a lot of people think about this. They ask themselves questions about this age. Am I not getting too old to make progress? So does age have anything to do with progress in life? Because I'm sure there are people who are watching online that could be wondering, are they too late to make progress? So what would you say about that, if age has anything to do with progress in life and in business or not?
That question is so contextual because all of us here are still making progress. It's just that at different levels.
Yeah.
So we still want to move higher. Somebody is making $1 billion here. He's making like $25 billion now. So you still want to make $100 billion. So progresses, no matter, and as you're growing more, you are leveraging on the capacity you are building now, to dream again. So the dreams you had 20 years ago was based on your knowledge of yourself, knowledge of relationships you had. But now you are growing, more relationships, more knowledge, then you redream again. And I feel there's no end to any when it comes to growth. That's my perspective.
Awesome. Do you have a contrasting perspective, Mr. Damilare?
No, actually,
Okay.
I agree with his position. Again, we are all called to something, right? Which most people call purpose, right? And at any point in time, we discover purpose, right? I don't think there's any barrier. It can never be too early, right? And it can never be too late. What you want to do is, whenever you discover that, right, you want to ensure that you quickly, take advantage of the fact that you now have the knowledge at any point in time, whether in the morning, whether in the afternoon, whether at night.
Yeah.
Right? And then there's something I believe in, which is the power of accumulated advantage. Right? Whatever it is you're doing, or whatever it is you've discovered, right? You put in a little effort, right? Don't think about the big things, right? Break it into smaller milestones.
Right.
When you do the first thing and you get it right, you then begin to repeat, and that's where mastery, basically comes. So I think conclusively, you would say that at any point, any age in life, you can achieve progress.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. And now, concludingly, Mr. Gbenga, now this question was one of the things we started this conference with. Now, the state of the nation is depressing. There's permit me to say Gen Z ways, no cap about that. The state of the nation is depressing and can actually be described by some people as anti-progress. The nation is programmed to have you not make progress, anti-progress. Now, how do we navigate through all of these challenges and make progress still?
Thanks a lot. I mean, I put some things on my status this morning about that. I'm going to run through a few things. First of all, please, people should listen and change. There's no point doing all those things if you don't want to change. So it's important that you listen and change. Write things down and work on it. It's important. The next thing is believe people's testimonies. Some things are too big for you to believe. You're never going to make yours. It's if someone says this, I say it's not possible. It's not possible. It's not possible. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's the way I can say it. Now, to answer your question, let me tell you this, man. I love Nigeria.
Me too.
And I am not saying I'm not going anywhere, I'm going anywhere. Because that is a low level of thinking. So there is the first level of thinking, very low. Food drives you. When food or bread drives you, that is when you say somewhere is better than the other. That's when you want to go to where you can plant and have your harvests. But when a cause, a vision and a mission drives you, you go anywhere because of that vision. I mean, I just came back from England yesterday night. And I'll tell you my routine. 4 a.m. in the morning, I took a train with my son to go and deliver a job in Wales. I was telling him about, and I worked for 36 hours straight. Like, it was crazy. And then I went to the airport and I came to Nigeria. And then, of course, we did a setup. I came to check my guys, and then I came back. I have another meeting tonight, 10 o'clock. Blah, blah. Listen to me. And I'm talking to everybody that says Nigeria is bad, Nigeria is good. If what you want is good good roads, what the government has done, good life, please, the West is better. If what you want, and don't get me wrong, is big money, suya, craziness, family that cares and love you and they can call anytime, Nigeria is better. Now, those are low level.
Right.
So you need to step up your game even from those two levels, right? And start to think, what do you want to do with your life? Now, you can't get there by just thinking. It's a journey. So you cannot even get there by doing business for 1 year or 2 years or 3 years. Because first of all, you need to make a lot of profit, and then you need to know you've passed, the money you earn is past food money. A lot of people are still looking for food money.
Right.
And that thing is crazy. And if you don't even set a target on when food money is enough, you will have passed it, but you still be looking for it. So I told my family and my wife, I said, there's no way in my life, no matter how much money I have, that I'm going to have more than one house per time. Personal house. It's not possible. What do I need it for? Now, the house I'm going to build now is going to be just 3 rooms because my kids are gone. I don't care. So you need to set targets on food. If you don't set target on food, you're going to keep going. You never be satisfied. So when you pass that level of food, you now begin to realize that I am in this world for more than food. When you realize that you are in this world for more than food, you realize that, part of my course is to give laptops to 10 kids in Tanzania, and I have to be there for 6 months. Then you will go there. And when you're done with Tanzania, maybe United Nations will have seen you and say, this person is doing well. Please, can you go to Morocco? Where are you living? Is it Nigeria or London? Your course is driving you until you get to that place. That is where I am now. Now, I didn't start today. I've been doing this thing. My first concert was 1993. 1995 was when I wrote You Make Me Wonder, I Wonder.
Amazing.
So I've been there. But it's progressive, guys. You cannot do it in one day. One of the things that we've done to Gen Z is that they've taken time away from the factors of production. Time is in it. You can't, there's nothing you can do. There's no shortcut. Right. There's a difference between jumping and growth. It's too much different. I saw a crazy analogy recently. Someone talked about growth, and then someone talked about blowing. Someone grew to this level, then person let's do it. Let's do that you can understand it. Can you give me a chair? Please. Can someone, you'll help me, right? Okay, so stand on the chair. So he has blown, but I've grown. Now move. Come down. You go back to after blowing. That's where you come back to. You're going to come down. It takes time to grow. It takes a little time to blow. But it's not going to take you anywhere, because if you want to continue that life, you will still have to come down.
Yes.
So we need to all grow. When you grow, food will now become nothing. And then the cost, the mission, what you have to do in life becomes the big deal. It takes you everywhere. You can sleep in a place with mosquito, even though you have $1 billion in your account, because of a cost.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter anymore. So for me, I don't care. I can eat in London, breakfast, and go to Tanzania, drink tea, and come back to Nigeria. You think it's a big deal. It's no longer a big deal. I'm not driven by what drives everybody anymore. I'm driven by a cause. And when you get there, then Nigeria will not be anything. I know that our leaders are failed, but I've said this myself. I'm not going to condemn anybody. I'm not going to say a pastor is doing what is right or wrong. I'm not going to look at the negativity. Yeah. There's too much positivity to kill the negatives, and we need to find it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Gbenga. Now, Mr. Bankole, I'm a little concerned that you can't relate, but...
I can't relate with Nigeria.
Yes, I mean...
I grew up in Nigeria.
Resume says it, but...
I grew up in Nigeria. I come to Nigeria almost all the time. Anyway.
Okay.
What do you want me to say? So, what's the question?
So my question is, Nigeria has been described as anti-progress. How do we navigate through this challenge? Mr. Gbenga has touched so much on that, but we'd like you to say something on that.
The premise of that question is not right. Nigeria is not anti-progress.
He has been described.
Oh, okay, fine. Okay. So you tell the people who describe it as anti-progress. There might be things in the macro economic dynamics of Nigeria that are not going to help you to progress. But I think we have enough individual, and I'm not going to go into the macro of Nigeria. Maybe that's beyond our conversation here. But let's focus on the individual responsibility of making something out of yourself. So Gbenga talked about living for a cause, and it just keeps 2 steps in Maslow's hierarchy. So you move from looking for food and living for purpose.
Awesome.
I don't know who said this today but your purpose can change. Your purpose even gets clearer. And I'm saying this to everybody here who is having a challenging time trying to evolve. As a matter of fact, the most important thing in your entire life's journey is evolution. If you don't evolve, you die. So He said he wrote a song that we still sing today in 1995.
Yes.
He's probably not writing music today. He's doing something different. Evolution is so critical. So again, it goes back to your idea of self. Your question again, does Nigeria affect it? No. Listen, I'll give you another example. If you all have mirrors in your house,
Right.
the easiest thing for you to do, and I know, a lot of people look at themselves in the mirror because they want to see if they are fine or not. But yeah, you are fine. Let's just agree with that. But I think there is something more psychological that you can do with your mirror. You can stand in front of that mirror and say to yourself that on these fringe shoulders of yours is the future of the African continent. You can stand in front of that mirror and say things to yourself. You're not even asking anybody to big you up.
Right.
You can big yourself in such a way that at some point you will walk into a place before you are even there physically. So again, I'm going to round up by saying this. What is really Nigeria? Nigeria is a place where 200 million plus people are competing for limited opportunities. But what does that also give you? It gives us a certain type of characteristic that says, I have struggled, I have fought for things, and because of that, I've developed skills that makes me so unique in the world. And that is where the concept of a global you starts. You just realize that you're not only solving problem for Nigeria, you're solving problem for the continent, and you're solving problem for the globe. So again, Nigeria is not our problem. Our problem starts with fixing the man in the mirror.
Awesome. Thank you very, very much. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's give a standing ovation to these amazing gentlemen who have joined us on this panelist session and have shared so much. And have shared so much on making progress in life and in business. Please let's put our hands together for them one more time.